Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you around the world. Welcome to the daily Trade the Chain crypto update, where we give you everything you need to know for the next 24 hours and hopefully the next few days. Today is Tuesday, May 23rd, and we are looking at DXY, the US dollar index, which has been powering through both of these ranges for the month of May, and we are now at that resistance level. We kind of talked about this last week, and we obviously held at the 12-hour 200 estimated moving average, which is what you want to hold if you are a a bull for the dollar. As we can see here, did not hold during end of February, beginning of March, and we could definitely see something like that, but right now it's looking pretty strong, and we do know that the stronger the US dollar index looks, and the riskier risk assets become, meaning there is an inverse relationship here. So if the US dollar breaks above 103.6 and claims that level as support, then we are likely going to end up moving up to about this level right here, in my opinion, which is about the 105.5 level. So basically we've powered through this range, and now we need to break above 103.6 to then start moving into this range right here. If we get rejected at 103.6, then we're obviously going to move back down to obviously the lows right around 103. And then if that breaks, then we're going to be looking at 102.5. So big decision coming up. We do have PCE on Friday, which is the inflation print for April. And that'll be very interesting to see, because I think this will breed some volatility in the charts. Obviously, good inflation print, meaning, lower than expected, DXY should shave off. And a bad inflation print, meaning higher than expected, would mean this likely boosts higher. So looking at equities, as we can see, DXY moving higher, definitely starting to hurt equities a little bit. There wasn't much of an inverse correlation here, but we do know that typically, more often than not, this will have an inverse correlation. So seems like it's finally starting to hit now that equities are, at that 4,200 number. And what we told the Trade the Chain community today was obviously, opening in this candle, if we can hold the 4170 level, then, probably going to move back up to 4,200, lose this level, going to drop down to 4145. It's exactly what we did today. So I'll go ahead and zoom in on the 1 hour, pretty steep drop since midday US session. And we tagged the 4145 level, which was as expected. If you're in the Trade the Chain community, we put this, we do this every single day, but more often than not, they are accurate. We're giving you triggers, we're giving you exits. We obviously don't know where price is going to go every single day when we wake up, but we figure out what the triggers are, what you want to do if certain levels are met or missed. And obviously shorting at 4170 down to 4145, very good trade on the equity side of things today. That was about, I want to say 0.5%, just over 0.5% trade on equities. Pretty good volatility if you are an equities trader. So looking at Bitcoin, we did say that if we below the 27.2 level, then we probably hit 27K first, and then likely attack 26.8, which is previous daily close, coincides with this ugly little range right here. But we are obviously, we may deviate down here, and that's why we always wait for confirmation. Obviously sending right back up, to 27.2. So if this level gets rejected again, we're definitely going to head lower. If we accept above 27.2, we're probably going to head back up to the 27.4, 27.5 level. And then what you need to do is, considering 27.5 coincides with these tops right here, we still have this liquidity untouched up here, which is about 27.6. So if you are a bull, what you want is to get above 27.6 and flip that level into supports to then move up to 28. If you're stuck below here, you're obviously, you're stuck at this liquidity here if you can't get above 27.5, and you're stuck at this liquidity here if you can't get above 27.6, which is what you need to break to get above 27.8. So keep an eye on that if you are a bull. But obviously breaking back into this little, descending triangle, not very positive, and could signal larger deviation of this trend, which would likely send us near the trend lows, which is around that 26 level. So watching this closely, if you can break back above 27.2, then you can start to play in this range and start to think about 28K again. If you get rejected at 27.2, then you're probably going to at least slide down to the VWAP and then lose the VWAP down here, and then kind of like that. So that's the outlook on Bitcoin. I did actually have some shorts. We told the Trade the Chain community. I'll actually see if I can. Let me pull it up for you guys, because I want everyone to see, how accurate our analysis is. So, lost it. So there we go. So equities outlook, you can see where it is. Lose 41.70, drop down near 41.45. This was all posted at very early in the morning. So you can't, obviously no edits or anything like that. So that the information is truthful. So Bitcoin, looked like that. We said break below 27.2, head towards 26.8. It was certainly on that trajectory, but possible deviation. That's why we look for confirmation. And then very similar for ETH, break below 18.45, head towards 18.20. And if we look at ETH, we are actually just stuck at that 41.45. We have two nice little tweezers here, which is definitely a sign that the 18.45 support. See how it only wicks below 18.45 on the hourly. So good sign that 18.45 is holding. But for ETH, like we told the Trade the Chain community, you need to flip 18.70 to then move higher, because this is obviously the highs, and you have liquidity up here. So you could face a battle at this 18.88 level as well. So you've basically got to flip both of these green lines right here to end up moving towards the top of the channel. So if you can flip, this is obviously 1870 is what we need to flip first. Then you can start thinking about 1890, get above 1890. Then you can start thinking about 1940. So, but I will say very positive to see holding 1845, but we still have plenty of price action to come, and we have been on this downtrend. So we'll have to see if we can get above 1850, crab up to 1870, get above 1870, talk about 1890, get above 1890, head to 1940, and obviously below 1845, VWAP first, then probably previous daily close, then the low end of the channel. And if this is just large deviation, it typically will end up going to the bottom of the channel. So something to closely watch for there. So we were, and just to pull up the Trade the Chain community again, just to give you, how I give these full indications. I would, we could surprise the upside, but we believe looking for shorts during the US session and then possibly looking for longs during the Asia session is likely your best bet. So obviously, shorts definitely worked throughout most of the day today. If you were shorting any runs, but definitely a little bit more prevalent on Bitcoin than Ethereum, and very prevalent on equities. But you're not going to hit every single trade, and of course, general ideas for shorts and longs across all sectors is a little bit rough. But if you were shorting Bitcoin and equities and even ETH, you were either even or up on the day, and that's exactly how we help the Trade the Chain community. So my opinion, the more we hold this support, and if Bitcoin can deviate back above 28 or 27.2, then longs into the Asia session definitely makes sense. If Bitcoin is stuck under 27.2 and ETH starts to break below 1845 during the Asia session, then I am shorting the Asia session. But obviously, things can change 12 hours after we give our first bit of research. So, this is why we do these updates for everybody, of course. So I don't really have a bias right now for the Asia session, but I do think that if ETH can hold 1845, definitely looks pretty good. And ETH BTC has certainly been moving in the right direction. It's well above the ascending triangle, but we still have to watch out for potential deviation because it's got this liquidity up here. And if it can't break above that, it'll be a double top, and then we'll just head right back down here. So, but right now it does look like ETH is, moving a little bit stronger than Bitcoin. And that's something to keep track of if you are trading ETH versus Bitcoin, or just Ethereum or Bitcoin. So very much something to keep in your mind right there. And then just to give a quick little macro update on, looks like I'm lagging a little bit. Sorry, I'll repeat that. So just to give a little bit, waiting for this lag to snap back. Okay, I think we should be good now. So apologies for the slight lag. For some reason, when I'm running too many things, things will obviously slow down a little bit. But just to go over the macro really quick, tomorrow, no, we had PMI this morning, which I think definitely led into some of the red candles. But just Fed governor tomorrow and Fed minutes. So Fed minutes will be interesting because we're obviously getting the direct rhetoric from the Fed in terms of what they discussed in the meeting versus what Jerome Powell told us. So that could definitely cause some volatility, but it is at the end of the day. So watch out for that. GDP second reading will be relatively important. If it comes in lower than expected, which means it should come in at 1.1%. If it comes in lower, could see a little bit of a sell-off. Jobless claims may have a little bit of volatility in the morning on Thursday, but the big day is PCE index. And of course, as always, we want to focus on core. Core is expected to come in even at 4.6. It's not very good in general, but obviously we want it to come in even or lower. If it comes in lower than 4.6, I'm expecting green candles. If it comes in higher than 4.6, I'm expecting red candles. And if it comes in at 4.6, I think it's pretty neutral. Nothing has changed really in the market. We're still stuck at relatively high inflation. The market may take that as a negative, but I think it'll be relatively neutral in my opinion. So looking at recap, DXY is moving higher. If it gets above 103.6, probably red candles coming for risk. We want equities to hold 41.45, and then we can start talking about at least tagging the support now resistance, which would be at the 41.70 level. Bitcoin, if it gets above 27.2, it will likely attack 27.5. If we hold below 27.2, likely attack 26.8. Ethereum, if it holds 1845, likely attack 1870, maybe 1890. And if it breaks below 1845, likely going to attack 1820, maybe 1800. So that is the quick Trade the Chain daily updates. And we do have a comment from UIC Now, crypto and altcoins, lots of rejections at 27K level. Think we will revisit 26.5. So yes, you are right. Just think looking at, highs here, equal highs here, and then obviously moving lower. So it does seem very likely that we end up re-tagging the lows. And, like we did mention the idea of if this is deviation that confirms back in this descending triangle, then typically what you will see is price move all the way back down to meet the previous lows, which are obviously around 26.5, 26.6. So, but the other thing is people are just shorting. And I think that's why we've seen such wild volatility. You get all these shorts, then the shorts close, or you squeeze the shorts, then you're moving back up. So it is very volatile. And what I would suggest, if you are trading, don't trade for breakouts. Trade within the range until you are given a breakout. That should make your life a little bit easier. Just focus on the range that you're given and create money there instead of trying to overextend yourself and go, oh my God, I'm a long here because I'm betting on 28K. Why would you bet on 28K here when we can't even get above 27.6? We need to get above 27.6 to bet on 28. So if you are long here and you're starting to see wicks, and we maybe we make it up to 27.5, 27.6, but then you start to see wicks like this, probably going to come back down again. So just be very careful in terms of timing and exiting. I think playing for breakouts is going to get you hurt right now. You don't want to play the breakout until you're given the breakout. And like this was kind of a breakout, but if you were shorting this, you got crushed. And obviously the biggest signal was this swing failure pattern right here. And so anytime you see something like that, you definitely want to exit your trade. It on inverts too, nice swing failure pattern there, several swing failure patterns up here. Basically a swing, basically wicks every single time you get to 27.5. So you want to watch out for that because that's historical context. It's going to help you in terms of how price may react if prices reach that level again. So I'll leave everybody with that. So obviously, if you're in the Trade the Chain community, you can get a hold of me 24/7 for trade ideas or updates to what I mentioned in the Trade the Chain community earlier. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up today. So hit me up if you need any help. And of course, do sign up for Trade the Chain. We have a new product offering coming today. Look out for an email and a tweet in relation to how you can get signed up for just the Trade the Chain community at a lower price to make our offering a little bit more available to more people around the globe. So keep a lookout for that. We look forward to seeing you in the TTC community. So good luck and happy trading.